There was a lot of comments on WhatsApp University that India strategically abstained from censoring China on its treatment of its minorities in Xinjiang region, which is the Uyghurs, saying that the United Nations HRC is planning to bring a similar resolution against India in the near future, and they wanted to ward it off. Well, let's take a look at the UNHRC Commission. There are 47 countries, and it was headed by someone like Saudi Arabia. I mean, this organization, the UNHRC, is actually a big joke. It doesn't matter what they resolve, what kind of resolutions they pass. It is just optics. And I don't think India should be bothering much about optics. More on the UNHRC later. First, I want to talk about a more weightier matter. It is entirely possible that the UN Security Council might decide to drop Russia. Why? Because of what is happening in Ukraine. That could be one of the moves that the UN Security Council could do to push out somebody who they think is not working towards world peace. In the event that Russia does get kicked out, remember there's a controversy that Ukraine raised about whether it was proper for Russia to assume the seat that was vacated by the Soviet Union, USSR. The two are not the same. So that itself is one of those technicalities. It is possible that under that technicality, Russia gets kicked out. Let us assume for the moment that Russia is out of the UN Security Council. Then who's going to take their place? Who's going to take that seat? Is it going to be India, or is it going to be Japan, or is it going to be somebody else? Who benefits from this? Well, anybody who becomes a member of the UN Security Council can use their veto power to ward off some of the most stringent sanctions that may be levied against them. Should India become a member of UNSC? Absolutely yes. Is India lobbying towards that? I think they are. So will India get that seat? Well, let us look at the other four members who are going to decide whether India is the person that's going to be joining or Japan. The other four are who? US, England or United Kingdom, France and China. Now, I can tell you perhaps US and France may be keen to have India join, but I'm not so sure about United Kingdom or about China. The influence that China wields is enormous in these cases. And China might do just to spite India because they don't want India's rise. I'm just telling you the fact, guys. When it comes to hard diplomacy, China is one of the worst in terms of they don't care. How many times have they passed resolutions against India on Kashmir? So if India didn't care about that, why did India care about abstaining from a vote that was so close? Should it have not embarrassed China by voting along with it and making sure that a couple of other people also vote along? Like, for example, Nepal should have abstained, and India could have leaned on Nepal and said, listen, you need to vote. I'm going to vote for this. I don't know the behind-door negotiations that took place in the UNHRC, but I do know this. In 2018, the Trump administration quit the UNHRC, saying that this is meaningless BS, that the amount of censuring that was being done against Israel by all these other members who had practically ganged up against Israel. And US said, this is not fair. You can't do that. So US just quit UNHRC until Biden came back and rejoined it. These people have a death wish, the Democrats, I'm telling you. They can't seem to manage the country. They've opened the doors for illegal immigrants. That has caused a lot of COVID problems. Now they've pumped too much money into the economy. And this happened because of that. I don't know whose promise they were fulfilling when we were doing all this. Anyway, so all that is said and done, India can quit the UNHRC if India doesn't get that seat at the UN Security Council. That's one way to bargain this. I don't know if India will do that. I have never seen India play on the front foot when it comes to United Nations. But here's a thought. I mean, you have to do a lot of groundwork, a lot of lobbying on these four countries. If you keep on saying that we don't see China as an aggressor occupying our space, you might as well milk it and tell China, listen, we're trying to play this thing along with you. Give us, accession into UN Security Council. So if something like that happens, then India can take care of a lot of other things that will come down the pipeline. I don't know if they are going to do that, but if they do, that would be a big moment for India. That is how diplomacy should be done. Again, it's easy for me to say these things sitting in my office and, spouting forth some ideas. At the same time, I want people to understand that being censored by UNHRC is not a big deal. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.